Hey everyone, Techni here with the review of the glorious Model D. Should we sit here and make a whole bunch of D jokes? I think it's already been overdone. And as some of you know, I'm not really on the good side with Glorious, right? I've made quite a few Model O reviews and I honestly didn't talk great about it because I didn't like it. I didn't like the way the company went about it, but I feel like the company's really come a long way. Number one, with their 2-year guarantee on any of their, I don't know if any of their products, but I know their mice, as far as the cable, button presses, anything with the mice, you really get a 2-year warranty, which is stinking awesome. So I honestly feel like the company's really coming around, getting a little bit more into that service-based, standing up behind their customers and their product, because that's really what it's going to take. Again, is that company and then the product, and that's what we're going to find out today. Is this mouse going to be a glorious Model D or the glorious Model Dud? So for me, the first thing, straight out the box, what I was concerned about is the build and the durability of the Model D. Is it better than the O when it first launched? And straight up, just right out of the box looking at it, I mean, this thing looks solid. But like I stated, even with the Model O or the Model O minus, and I've said it multiple times on Twitter or in the comments, the one thing I think Glorious needs to do with any of their mice is remove this dang RGB strip. Throw the RGBs in it or something like that, because still on this one, you can see the outside shell flexes a little bit from where that RGB strip is from up the top right there. Again, because you got two different pieces right there. It is a mild amount, but still it's happening. And I think if that RGB strip was gone, I think it would be completely solid. And actually, if you do grip it hard enough on the sides right over here, as you hear, you can actuate the buttons. Now that's never gonna happen in game on this mouse. I don't wanna say never. My biggest fear with any of these glorious mice is over time. How is it gonna perform over time? Because right now, no, that actuation is not gonna happen in game. Number one, ergo mouse, right? So you're really gonna get your hand on it right there. Rather than a claw mouse where your kind of thumb's right down here and you're gripping it a little bit tighter, ergo mouse, you're kind of just sitting there resting. Yeah, you're pressing your thumb, but not that hard. Again, because your whole hand is taking over this entire mouse. A lot different than from a claw ambidextrous shaped mouse, at least in my opinion. So no, you're not going to actuate those buttons in game. Never happens to me. But again, my concern with something like this is over time. How is it going to fare over time? Is it going to get looser and looser and looser down the road? That's what worries me. And that's pretty much what happened with the cable before, right? There was in the package, it was bent down, and some people started having issues with their cable. Now they did change the package now, so it just wraps up in there, goes straight out. Before, I never had any issues with any of my Model O or O minus with the cable, so I think it was select ones right there. But again, I think they really improved it right now. By the way, you have the new Ascendant cord right here, and it just feels really nice. It's really thin, feels a little bit firmer than the old one, but I think after you get some really nice braking on it, I think it's going to be very solid. Again, very thin and very lightweight. Now, as far as the button clicks on mouse 1 and 2, they're a little different. The left one is very clicky. When I go to the right one, it's a little bit shorter, it feels a little bit more mushy, and it's kind of weird, because as you can see the design kind of swooping down right here, the left one, bam, and it bottoms out. When I get to the right one over here, it clicks, and then I got a whole lot of excess travel in it. Now you do have to press it pretty hard to make it travel that full distance, but again, you do feel the difference whenever you're playing with it. And this one thing right here was just incredibly weird. It's not gonna mess up your gameplay or anything, but it's the first time I've ever seen it. And that is this right here. Check this out. So I'm gonna hold my thumb right up here behind the button, so I'm not pressing the buttons, and then I'm gonna press right back down here by the sensor. Do you guys hear it clicking? So if you look right here, can the camera catch it? See the DPI light changing? So whenever you press like that, I'm not pressing the DPI button in the middle, I'm just pressing from the bottom right there, and it's activating the DPI button. Like, what the heck? Like, really? That's the first for me. Incredibly weird. Will it ever happen when you're playing? No, because you're gonna be pressing here, and whenever you press from the top, it does not activate it at all. Again, you have to be pressing from the bottom, but it's still very weird. So alright, as far as the build right there, it's still questionable. It's definitely questionable. At 50 bucks, I still feel like it's decent, you know what I mean? It's not great by any means. I still think they have a lot more to improve. I think as much as that won't affect anybody, I still think they should get in there and fix that, just because again, it kind of makes your product look a little cheap. And then as far as the side, I just highly recommend they remove that RGB strip right there because it is going to be incredibly solid. All right, so next up, and probably more importantly, is going to be the shape right here and the dimensions of this mouse. Because again, we're all really used to and know that Model O right there, kind of that FK build and whatnot, right? But when you get into the Model D right here, very large, very ergonomic mouse. And an ergonomic mouse is honestly my preferred shape right there. I just absolutely love it. Death Adder, the EC series from Zowie right there. I mean, how about the skull? That's probably what I'd compare this to right here, is the skull. What didn't I like about the skull? If you saw my top 5 lightweight mice right there, that it had the cutouts on the side. I love how this is flat on the side right there. Again, it just feels fantastic in the hand. Like when you get it in your hand, it's just like, wow, I mean, it is a perfect fit. And I think what they did here is they pretty much copied the Zowie EC series mice. I love the EC2. It's absolutely fantastic mouse. A lot smaller than the Model D right here, but when you get into the EC1, it feels quite similar. The EC1 is a little bit bigger than the D right here. Not too much, but you do feel it in your hand. A little bit wider. The hump in the back kind of flares out just a little bit more in the back right there to rest your hand on. Very comfortable mouse, but very big mouse. Now, when you get into the Model D, again, it just feels a little bit smaller, not as small as the EC2 right there. Again, it's right in between the two of them, but I would definitely compare it more to the EC1 than the EC2. And as far as performance, I mean, it was spot on right there. It's using a 3360 sensor, and again, spot on, playing a lot of Fortnite, a lot of Call of Duty right there. As far as actually just slide around, check it out. I'm using the new HK Gaming mouse pad right over here, and it's a pretty slick mouse pad off the gate, but still, check out this mouse. Like, I'm barely pushing it here. It has really nice thick feet. They definitely stick out. They're rounded on the edge. I don't really feel any drag, but the cool thing about it, they also give you these 2 extra feet right here, which you can put on the front or the back of the mouse right there, or both of them, which is what I did with my skull, because that one came with the same thing right there. Now, as you can see, we have the feet on here now, and just look how this bad boy slides. I'm still pushing it the same amount. I mean, wow, I mean, slipping and sliding right here. Now, the crazy thing with these extra feet right here, as far as the front where our main feet are, the front and the back right there, it doesn't really touch. It sits a little bit lower than them. If you look close, it's just a little bit lower right there. But I think where it's getting that extra slide from right there is, again, when you get into the mouse right here, kind of balancing it out and just giving it a more balanced feel. And again, even when you're leaning into it, that's how it feels. But as you can see, even when it's sliding, you just get a little bit more right there, and it feels fantastic. Now, as far as all the buttons on the mouse right here, they're very crispy and very pronounced. Like I stated, the mouse 1 and 2, they feel a little bit different, especially with that right one right there. Has a little extra travel. So those do take a little while to get used to. Straight out the box, they do feel weird and different. The other thing that throws me off a little bit is the DPI switch right there. It sits pretty high in the middle. Now, I don't actually press it or anything, but when I'm in game, my hands kind of kinked a little bit to the side right here, and my middle finger is just pressing or going right across it right there. No, I don't ever activate it or anything like that, but I do feel my hand touching it. And the software is incredibly fantastic, very easy to use. Everything's right there for you. Adjust your DPI, adjust your lighting. You can just tweak the mouse up to what you need, and again, the software is incredibly easy to use. Now, the really cool thing is you don't need to use the software at all to adjust your RGB. They give you this fantastic little pamphlet right here, little manual, and tells you exactly how to adjust it right here on the mouse. And it is so easy. You can just cycle through all your RGB, your different effects and everything, bam, right on the mouse. Super easy, super convenient, and again, it just works perfect. All right, so all in all, the glorious Model D right here. I love the shape of it. I love the EC, the Zowie EC series mouse. And like I stated before, it's almost like a clone of that shape, and I absolutely love that shape right there. So as far as the shape and the feel, combined with the weight and the dimensions and everything, it's fantastic in the hand. But I honestly I mean, the stuff right there, I know people will say, oh, hey, it's your copy. My copy doesn't do it at all. Like, apparently they just send me the bad copies. But seriously, I'm with you guys, all right? I'm a $50 customer, all right? Not a reviewer here. I'm a customer right with you, and that's what I'm letting you know what I have right here. Number one, I think they should remove that RGB even with the old ones. Like I stated before, this bottom thing, even though it's not going to affect us, Like, it shouldn't be there. It just shouldn't. So like I stated, I love ergonomic mice. They are some of my favorite. I love the skull. The skull started off bad too, kind of cranky on the side like I talked about before, but they did fix it down the road. So hopefully they'll fix this down the road. They did a lot of updates with the Model O, so I really think they're gonna kind of prime this in right here. So maybe wait a little while and then get it. And what I would highly recommend you getting, if you like the ergonomic lightweight shape, is go with the Death Adder V2 right here. I just recently reviewed this mouse. If you love ergonomic shaped mice, wow, this thing is absolutely phenomenal, and I highly recommend this for any ergonomic mouse fan. But hey, thank you so much for stopping by and watching my review of the glorious Model D mouse right here. I hope I was able to help you out, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for some future tech videos. Hey, I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now.